Hey Fast Life fam, welcome back. Today I'll be showing you what I eat in a day. It's a feast day, woo! And I will be putting everything that I eat into my FitnessPal. I love my FitnessPal because it allows me to track not only my calories, but what I like to especially focus on is the macronutrient breakdown. So the fats, the carbs, the protein, and really the carbs I keep a close eye on. I do like to eat lower carb just because that's what my body likes the best, and I get most of my carbs from veggies and a little bit of fruit. So I'll be showing you what I eat, and then at the end I'll show you the macronutrient and the calorie breakdown. So let's get to it. So first things first, I love to have my tea and coffee, and I like to make a couple of teas at once, but I am going to fill up my water bottle, so I like to have at least 2 cups of water first thing when I wake up. So let's get that ready. Rinse my water bottle real quick. I have this little filter water, but sometimes when it's running low, it goes so slow. So I'll try, but if this fails, yep, there we go. Look, I don't have a problem with sink water. Water tastes pretty good to me. I know you might hear about impurities and whatnot. I haven't had an issue, so I'm gonna drink my sink water. You can get bottled water, sparkling water, whatever you like. So I have this, and then the next thing I'm going to do is add some, you know what, actually, maybe I don't feel like I need the electrolytes today. When I wake up on fasting days, I immediately go to putting my apple cider vinegar and electrolytes. I am gonna put some apple cider vinegar into my water. I love it, I actually love the taste. I know it's an acquired taste for some, but apple cider vinegar has a lot of health benefits, aids in digestion, and you can have it about 30 minutes before having your meal. So I'm going to put some into my water, or you can sip it all day, whatever your preference is, but I do like my apple cider vinegar or lemon water, so I'll squeeze some lemon in there too, but I'm out of lemon, so I'll stick with apple cider vinegar today. All right, apple cider vinegar going in. Have the mother in there. And I use this one. It's really, really, really good. I love the taste. This is the best one I've tasted so far. And I used to get the Bragg's kind, whatever kind you get if you use it. But I ordered this off Amazon, and I just love the taste of it. It tastes like a strong apple cider vinegar flavor. Raw, unfiltered, organic with the mother. Unpasteurized and naturally gluten-free. Yeah, and they tell you here, 1 to 2 teaspoons and 8 ounces of water, sweetened to taste. No, we won't be sweetening to taste. I'll just put this. And rich in enzymes, rich in potassium, may support a healthy immune system. Yeah, since I've been drinking apple cider vinegar, and especially around this time where the weather is changing, getting colder, it's been wet and rainy, I haven't caught a cold. My son's been sick, and I see a lot of people around me sniffling. I hope I don't come down with anything. I mean, it does happen, but I really think this has a big part to do with it. So that's just me. And I drink a lot of lemon and ginger, so very protective in this season. What else? Other possible benefits: can help weight control, can help to maintain a healthy complexion, and can aid in digestion. I approve this message. I do think having clearer skin has a lot to do with the eating healthier foods, hydration, and this apple cider vinegar. And you may have seen even some hair products, skin products incorporate this. So yeah, it's good all around. I just eyeball it. Let it pop in your eye. Yep, that looks about 2 teaspoons, tablespoons to me. And if I end up putting a little bit too much, it's too sour, I just shake it up, drink a little bit, and then I'll refill with some of water in here. So it'll last. It'll last me a bit. All right. This is a 32-ounce water bottle. I used to have one of the bigger ones, and I just found that it was heavy. Lugging it around was difficult. It doesn't fit in the car. It's a lot. And then another thing was that with those big water bottles, and I like to be able to see through them, they start growing all kinds of stuff, especially if it's plastic. If you can, probably get the stainless steel and the insulated ones. But yeah, mine was plastic, and it just started eroding, getting old. And I like this one, 32 ounces. I'll drink about at least 4, and then tea and coffee. So the fluids add up to maybe 120 ounces or more a day. And I'll just, every time I have one, I say, oh, that's 32 ounces down. And I'll keep going up and up and up until I get to the 5 or so. And you can also put this in MyFitnessPal, and I love it for that as well, because you can literally track everything in there. Not only the calories, macronutrients, but the water. No, I'm not advertising MyFitnessPal. I just love it. It's helped me stay on track. So you can even put in your water intake. So every time you do it, especially if you're starting off with the alternate day fasting, and then you're, you know, on your fast days, you're keeping track, and then even on your feast days, keeping track. It's just a nice little way to keep you focused and help you monitor what's going in. So you can do the calories, the macros, the water. You can break down the food so you can actually scan. Like for instance, well, this is just an example. It doesn't have any calories, but any food, you can scan the barcode on your phone, on your MyFitnessPal app. It'll give you the food and the calories. I will say, you know, use judgment, because sometimes on MyFitnessPal, they'll have like 1 serving, and really you don't exactly know what the serving is. So I find a good way to do it is using a scale. So if you're really getting down to the wire and you're like, I'm not losing weight, what's going on? Look at the portion size, and don't just assume that because you bring up the food item on the app that is the exact one. You really have to look, and it has to make sense, you know. But it's convenient, and then you can scan a meal and it'll calculate. But again, use your judgment and double check those things, because the last thing you want to do is rely totally on an app to tell you what you're consuming in your body. And then maybe you had let's say a large banana, and you pick the small banana, and now your calories are thrown off, and you do that all day for every food, then you could end up substantially going over your calories, but on paper or on the app, it looks like, oh, I'm tracking, I'm only eating this, but in reality, you had like 300 or 500 more calories, and so you're not in a deficit. So use with caution, but you get the hang of it. But yeah, the biggest thing is just it can literally track just about everything. It tracks your steps. I have my Apple Watch here that it integrates with. What else? It has some workout videos on there, recipes. You can even take progress photos. You put in your weight, and it tracks it over time, and it shows you a trend line. So it's just an all around great app. But all right, let me stop and get to my water. I've had about 16 ounces of water, about 2 cups, each cup 8 ounce. And actually, I'm going to have some tea and coffee. So that'll give me probably 2 more cups. So as you can see, I'm actually starting off my morning with 3 to 4 cups of water. That may be the secret to set you up for success. Hydrate first. And I actually had a good night's sleep. I'm a little more bubbly. The other day, I did not sleep well at all, and it really impacted my whole day. So that's another one. Make sure you're getting your sleep, 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I know it's tough with work, kids, family, all the distractions. And then at the end of the workday, it's so easy to just jump on your phone. And then before you know it, you look up and it's 10, it's 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and then you're getting 4 and 5 hours of sleep, or maybe 6. And I know myself, I have in the past been able to operate on less sleep, but excuse me, guys. In this season of my life, I cannot get by on a little bit of sleep. And also, not getting your sleep really impacts your fat burning ability. So when you're not sleeping, it throws off your hormones. And then oftentimes you'll find yourself eating a bit more, even on a feast day. And then it's a downward spiral. So get your sleep as much as possible. And I like to stop eating maybe 2 to 3 hours before bed, because I find that I'm able to digest a little bit better, and then I can rest throughout the night. I'm not tossing and turning because I'm belching and my stomach is full, and my sleep is disrupted, especially if you're eating carbs later in the evening and your body's trying to burn off that fuel, that sugar. And actually, fun fact, a lot of fat burning takes place at night. That's because that's when our bodies are naturally able to shift into more of a fat burning state. I mean, think about it. You're sleeping and you have those 7 to 9 hours where you're not eating, your insulin is able to dip, and now your body is able to start not only burning through those glycogen stores, your blood sugar levels are dipping, and then your body can start trying to tap into those fats. And it's also important for recovery and healing. So sleep is very, very important. So if you're noticing that you're struggling either to get through a fast day, or you find yourself tossing and turning and not sleeping well the night before your feast day, and then you're overeating, check your sleep. All right, time for some tea, and then I'll have my coffee after. And I like to give myself at least an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, even 2, depending on how I feel, before I get my coffee. And then the reasoning behind this, and it's science backed as well, is that when we wake up in the morning, our body's natural wake up hormone is cortisol. So we often hear it referred to as the stress hormone, but it's also a wake up hormone. It's the hormone that keeps your body alert. So when you wake up first thing in the morning, your cortisol naturally spikes for around those first 30 to 45 minutes. And then after about an hour or 2, it starts to naturally dip. So what the idea is that let your body wake up naturally. You don't want to spike cortisol even more. Then let's say you drink that coffee and then you notice that because you spike cortisol so much with that caffeine on top of what your body is already producing hormonally to get you alert and woken up in the morning, then you'll notice that in a couple hours you're crashing, you're jittery. Some people even say they feel anxious and jittery with a lot of coffee intake, and then in a couple of hours it's dipping, and then you need your next cup of coffee. So long story short, I like to delay for at least an hour. I will wake up, I'll have my water as you saw, and then I will do sometimes a quick stretch, or I go hit my backyard, walk a couple laps. That's just what I like to do to get some natural sunlight. If it's sunny out, if it's dark, I'll wait. But first thing, hydration, and then I'll stretch, walk, get some sunlight is also good to wake you up. And then I will go to my tea and then my coffee. All right, I'm going to do some coffee. Already have it in there. This is actually pretty good for an instant coffee. I also like Sprouts. They have like an organic fair trade coffee. Tastes really good. I just couldn't get there, so I got what they had on hand at Food Max, and this is what I settled on, and it's pretty good. And if you have a coffee brewer, espresso machine, ooh, I'm jelly. Put this in there. Get a good little amount. Okay, so I have my green tea, my coffee, and both green tea and coffee are good for boosting the metabolism and curbing appetite. And green tea especially, not only does it boost the metabolism, curbs the appetite, it has a compound called L-theanine that calms the mind. So that impacts neurotransmitters like dopamine. So it has a whole lot of health benefits, and even better, matcha green tea. Sometimes I'll buy the matcha powder. I got these from Costco. They come in a big box, reasonably priced. But sometimes I'll buy the matcha green tea powder, just a pure powder, and then I will mix that up with a tiny bit of hot water just to dissolve it. And then I will put in some almond milk or even soy milk sometimes if I have it on hand, but usually I'll have the unsweetened vanilla almond milk. I'll mix that up and I'll put a little bit of stevia to sweeten, and then I'll warm that up and have a matcha green tea latte. And then sometimes I'll put it in my little cup Ninja blender that just helps aerate it, and then I'll pour it back in the cup and warm it up, and that really makes it taste like a frothy latte. So green tea, super good for you, and then it has antioxidants. And if you have to leave out for work, get your system for yourself. I have these mugs here. This one, Travel. I like this one because it's insulated. It's a good brand too. This one also. So make it easy for yourself. I realize, and I've been doing a lot of reflection on this ADF and weight loss and overall health journey, just reflecting. I write in my journal, or I just take minutes to pause and think on things. And so a big one that I realized that I used to do that kept me falling back into unhealthy habits is making excuses for why I can't, do this thing, why I'm not getting enough water, why I'm not eating healthy. Just structure your environment to make it easier for you. Get the thing that you need. If you know you struggle with water, get your water bottle. If you know that you may not refill the water bottle, and then so you end up only having one. It's a busy work day. Carry a big one. They can get a bit heavy, but for a while I had that big one. Why? Because it makes it easy for me. I don't have to go back and forth refilling anything. If I'm at my work desk, the water is there. If I want to keep up with my health practice that I have for myself, like I don't want to rush and drink my coffee right away, what do? Something simple, but something that helps me stay true to the plan I have for myself. Get your tumblers. Prep. If you have a feast day and you're at work, meal prep. If you do oats, I don't eat a whole lot of the grains in oats, but I know many people do and they don't have any side effects from them. So if you like oats, make your overnight oats, put them in the fridge. I got some little glass bottles because I like chia seed pudding. So I'll have chia and flaxseed pudding with some berries, almond milk in there, sprinkle of cinnamon. Sometimes I add the coconut flakes. Sometimes I'll add unsalted and unsweetened peanut butter. So I have a chia seed pudding. Tastes like a Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup. Swear. It really does. My kids don't think so, but to me it tastes really good. Time for breakfast, I'm keeping it simple. I'm just going to have some boiled eggs. While the eggs are boiling, I'm going to make a protein smoothie with some berries, almond milk, and then this protein shake here. It's plant-based. I'm not vegan, but what I like about it is that it has clean ingredients and it has a lot of vegetables. It has superfood greens. It has broccoli, kale, spinach. It does have a little monk fruit sweetener in there, so it's 0 sugar. And most importantly, it is 30 grams of protein. And so with your meals, especially when you're on an ADF feasting, fasting schedule, and any approach really, it's so important to get your protein in for muscle building and for satiety, to stay fuller for longer. And so with every meal, I'm trying to have at least 30 grams of protein, especially in the morning, to get me started off. It sets the tone for the morning. So from trial and error, I found that eating a lot of carbs first thing in the morning set me up to feeling hungry throughout the day. So I like to start with eating some protein, and then I'll pair the fruit with it. And it keeps me full pretty much all the way until lunch or a late morning snack, which I'll probably have some nuts. I like to plan out in ahead what I'm eating. Sometimes I'll even put it in my FitnessPal in advance if I don't have anything prepped, because at least that way I have some clarity and I don't have to scramble when I'm hungry and I'm busy. I know exactly what I need to do, what I'm going to do. All right, we have our breakfast. So 30 grams of protein in here, plus some healthy, nutritious berries and some almond milk. Can't beat that. You've been struggling to get in protein in the morning, get breakfast in the morning before leaving, and then you end up giving in, going to your work cafeteria or stopping by a drive-thru. Try protein shakes. All right, and that completes my breakfast. All right, so that's it for me for breakfast. I had the protein shake, 30 grams of protein with the berries, the almond milk, had those 2 eggs, and also had some pecans. So I'll throw that in my FitnessPal, and I'm just going to shower, get dressed, get some work done, and I'll see you back for lunch. I ended up getting hungry, so I stopped and got myself a little snack. I had some sardines and seaweed, and I already ate one of them. And then I realized, like, oh gosh, I need to show you and film. But I forgot, so I just took the picture I had. It was 3 sardines and then this little pack of seaweed. And sardines are full of nutrients and high in protein, packs a nice little protein punch. So I ended up having that before lunch. All right, so I have all my stuff. Just gonna show you the ingredients. Pretty simple. Red onion, I'm gonna chop it up. We have this tuna here. Yep, 29 grams of protein, 130 calories. You really can't beat that. Nice protein-packed lunch. I'm going to eat this entire tomato. I am going to use some mayonnaise because I want my tuna to be super dry. Sometimes I mix the tuna up with avocado, but I want the different taste, and I'm going to chop up half of this avocado on the salad for some healthy fats and fiber. What else? We have this Green Goddess dressing. And sometimes I use this. It does have some sugars in it, total grams 3. So, but occasionally it's fine. And I like the taste. And this one here, the Green Goddess dressing, it just has water, avocado, apple cider vinegar, green onions, lemon juice, chives, parsley, olive oil blend. It has olive oil and then extra virgin olive oil, yellow onion, basil, garlic, sea salt, black pepper. I love Trader Joe's. And so it's pretty good. 20 calories for 2 tablespoons. So this is a pretty healthy alternative to the you know, ranch and all the blue cheese and all the extra stuff they put in there. And I like the taste. It tastes herbaceous, and it's going to go really nice with the salad, and not too much salt. I'm always paying attention to that. So I have some leftover. I'm due for another shopping trip, so I like to use up whatever I have. This broccoli, sprouts, Brussels, kale, green cabbage, red cabbage. I love this. And even sometimes when I'm not in the mood to eat it raw, I'll throw it in the pan with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, some minced garlic that I get in the little jars, or sometimes I buy the little tube that's in the produce or the frozen section. It's a nice way to season. And then I have a little bit left over of this arugula. You can pretty much eat just about as much as you want of this stuff. I just love my salads. I didn't like salads before. Now it depends on the weather. I do like to warm vegetables up, saute them, my first choice, but I don't have time for that. All right, I'm going to enjoy this. Looks so good, tastes good, pretty easy to make. All right, I'm going to sit down and enjoy this salad. Look at this, delicious, packed with nutrition, healthy fats, protein, our veggies, leafy greens, fiber, with the tomato too. You can't beat that. And it's super, super quick. Eating good, eating healthy, it doesn't have to be complex. Get yourself some salads if you're a salad fan. Veggies you can easily saute. Sometimes I put, I like the different textures in a salad. And that's what I found that really got me to liking salads more. Because when you change up the textures, the flavors, it's pretty good. You don't have to do those dressings that you buy from the store. You can make a simple dressing with extra virgin olive oil and some lemon, a little salt and pepper, season it up however you want, and it's good to go. Or like me, you know, if you're trying to be quick with it, get something healthier like a green goddess dressing. So you always have to read the label and see what's in there. So yeah, but there's tons of options on the market. You don't have to make your own, but at least you kind of know what goes into it, or get a cleaner version. You don't have to have all the artificial stuff and the fatty stuff. So this salad looks really good. Take a bite, and then I'm going to enjoy this, and I'll walk maybe like 15 minutes, and then I'll get back to work, and then I'll have dinner much later. This is good. It really is. All right, dinner time. I'm going to do something quick again. I have some 93% ground beef that I thawed out. Just going to season that up really good. I don't even feel like cutting any more onions. I already have my onion share in my salad today. So I'm just going to throw in some minced garlic and go from there. And then I'll make some zucchini, saute that up with some bell peppers, and that's really going to be it for me. I do like to get my dinner in definitely before 7, closer to 6:30, even better, because that gives me time to digest my food, at least 2 hours before bed, and even better, 3 hours, so I can get a good night's sleep. And my eyes are already red. I'm tired, so I'm going to eat that and go for a little walk, and that'll really be it before I settle down and enjoy a little bit of family time and go to bed early. All right, let me get on that dinner. Okay, I have my veggies cooking, season them up pretty good. I love my smoked paprika, the bell pepper, zucchini, minced garlic, and salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. Let those cook up really quick, and then I'll steam them a little bit with the lid on, but then I'll let them hopefully get a little sear on it. I just put some extra virgin olive oil in there. And then this meat, just same seasoning, minced garlic, Cajun, smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, basic, and it'll cook up quick. I'm ready to eat and then move on with my night. Patty's going, veggies almost there, won't be long for this. And I'll eat my portion, and then I'll save a portion for lunch on my next feast day. And my family doesn't always eat what I eat. They sometimes eat leftovers. And then other times, if I cook a meal that everyone likes and they're hungry, like baked chicken, roasted veggies, they'll have some sweet potato on the side or something similar. And then sometimes I just fix them things that they like. I don't always eat everything that they eat. And that is it, you guys. This is my dinner. I'm going to put some mustard on those patties. I love mustard, low calorie, and it gives it a nice little flavor. Okay, you guys, I'm going to finish my dinner. That way I can go for a quick walk with the dogs and then get back, enjoy some time with the kids, watch a show maybe if I have some time, do another light little stretch. I did one in the morning, but stretching at night helps me relax, wind down. I'll make myself a little cup of chamomile and lavender tea, and then that'll really be it for me. I'll get a good night's sleep, and that way I'm fresh and ready for tomorrow. I'll show you my macronutrient breakdown at the end once I finish my dinner, and you'll get to see the calories and the macros. All right, I'll be right back. Here's the breakdown of what I ate today. I put it in my Fitness Pal. You can see the chart with the blue graph shows the calories that I had, total calories, and then they take the net calories based on any activity, either from movement, steps, and anything you put in if you do something like a fitness activity. And my goal is flexible. I can go upwards of 1,900 calories some days, depends on my hunger level, activity level. And then other days I can go closer to the 1,600, 1,700 mark. And then here, the other chart shows my net carbs that I put in there. So right on par with what I was hoping for, under 50 grams. And then fat's not bad at all either, a little over. But if I wanted to make some swaps, I can use even leaner ground beef. I didn't have any Greek yogurt, non-fat Greek yogurt, so I could have used that for the tuna instead of mayo. Or I could have used a little less olive oil when I was cooking my veggies. So there's always going to be some healthier swaps. But for the calories of the day and the other macros, it's okay for me. And then I love another feature that my Fitness Pal shows is all the nutrients and fiber and other breakdowns as well. So that's it on what I eat in a day. If you found this video helpful, drop an emoji or comment. I love hearing from you. Drop any questions you might have. And if you're interested in seeing more behind the scenes on my fast, feast days, health routines, check out the channel memberships. And also check out the videos where I show a full feast day and fast day routine. Well, that's it for today. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.